Welcome to Mission Past, where we look at archaeology and history behind video games while simultaneously trying to complete a mission. Today it's Call of Duty Black Ops. The mission's an absolute belter. Vorkuta. Can we get through it without dying? Maybe on hardened we can, but it still won't be easy. Let's go. Alright then, here we go.
It was a setup. They knew we were coming.
This is a bit of background about the previous mission. Your character gets caught and then sent to a labour camp in Russia.
Russia? A labour camp? Oh, a hellhole called Vorkuta. Oh my god.
What did they do to you, Mason?
What didn't they do?
Welcome to the channel. If it's your first time, thanks for joining me. If you're returning, good to have you back. And do please consider subscribing. It really helps me grow and helps me continue making these videos.
Why did he give you to Dragovich?
Because Castro and Dragovich were working together.
Yeah, you were a gift.
Yeah. Right.
Where did Dragovich take you?
Vorkuta. You had to fight. Just to survive.
What happened in Vorkuta, Mason?
I was on my own. Almost a year.
Fake, Mason. What did they do to you?
I'd given up hope of ever getting out. But Viktor Reznov found a way.
I think this is the best mission in Call of Duty Black Ops. There's Viktor Reznov.
Viktor Reznov.
My friend.
Voiced by Gary Oldman, of course. Sorry, Gary. Oh, who's this fella coming over? One of the guards. You see at the bottom left there, we're in Vorkuta in 1963. I'll come back to that a bit later. There's a bit of aggro here. It's giving him a shoeing. Right, let's pick up this rock. Oof. He'll have a headache in the morning.
Reznov.
Mason, every journey begins with a single step.
This is step one! Security! Now, we take Vorkuta! What is
Hurrah!
step two?
The uprising's on. Well, here we are then in Vorkuta, a labour camp, a Gulag in the Soviet Union in the early 60s. Take this guy out. And we're running through the mine shafts here. Careful, chaps. That guy's going the wrong way.
Allow me to introduce Sergei Kozin, the monster of Megadeth.
He's a big boy.
Glad you're
He's obviously had his Weetabix this morning. Weetabix and steroids. All right, let's have a look at some background history about gulags. A gulag was a forced labour camp in the Soviet Union. They held a wide range of inmates, from petty criminals to enemies of the state and political prisoners. Most of the inmates had been convicted on bogus charges or by kangaroo courts, and life in the gulag could be extremely harsh. Prisoners worked up to 14 hours a day, often in Arctic weather conditions, usually doing back-breaking labour in primary industries like mining or forestry. The word Gulag is an acronym from the government agency in charge of all of the labour camps, but it's come to describe all forced labour camps that existed in the Soviet Union. Gulags trace their origin to a decree by Vladimir Lenin in 1919, but they exploded in scale and population from the mid-1920s to the mid-1950s during the reign of Joseph Stalin. Following Stalin's death in 1953, the Soviet establishment began dismantling the Gulag system, and it ended definitively in 1960, although a small number of camps remained. Right, so that's where we are, in a mining gulag. Numbers are difficult to determine from historical records, but it's thought about 18 million people went through the gulag system in its heyday from the mid-1920s to the mid-1950s. And of those 18 million, it's thought around 1.7 million died due to their incarceration. These were not nice places, to understatement of the century. Okay, let's get up the lift.
Realism. We sure can trust America.
With my life.
Yes, me and Rezi, we go way back to World at War.
All soldiers.
crawling around in Stalingrad, if I remember.
Trade. Forgot. Abandoned.
Actually, that's another classic level, the Stalingrad level in World at War. I'll have to get round to doing that as well. Now, this lift journey gives me a perfect opportunity to have a quick sip of delicious tea. Okay. Oh my god, I forgot he did that. Absolutely destroyed him with an axe. That's gratuitous use of an axe. There's a pistol around there. Somewhere there it is. Okay. So how does Vorkuta fit into all of this? Well, the real Vorkuta was one of the largest gulags in the Soviet system, founded in 1932 here, 160 kilometers, that's 99 miles, above the Arctic Circle. At its peak in 1951, it consisted 132 coal mining and forestry subcamps and housed 73,000 prisoners. It closed in 1962, so technically, as this mission is set in 1963, it shouldn't be happening at all, but I'm glad it is, otherwise we'd miss out on this fantastic level.
Russians know this better than anyone.
Okay, open the gates. That's not gone too well, is it? Sprint behind the coal cart. And oh, cheers, Sergey. You just bumped me out of the way, you big brute. We've got to cover these two as they push it forward. I've got to cover these two from being taken out by these guards to left and right. Luckily, at this point, the guards are one-shot kills, which you just have to hit them. I mean, you still do have to hit them. But as long as you hit them with one bullet, they'll go down. Now, Vorkuta was the location of a real uprising, but it happened in 1953, so 10 years before this level is set. And it's a little different to the uprising depicted here. Actually, it's a lot different. I'll come back to it in a minute. Just got to focus on clearing these guards out. There's a few more on the left. Right. I think we're almost there. Oh, we've got to take these last few fellas out. Oh, God. Don't die. Kill him. Get him. That was some terrible shooting. Okay, here we are. I think these guys on the left here have got a Molotov cocktail catapult launcher. There it is. Go on, boys. Yes. Hoorah! Go, go, go. The real uprising at Vorkuta in 1953 lasted for 2 whole weeks. It started on the 19th of July 1953, and a group of inmates went on a peaceful strike. After a week, there were 18,000 inmates on strike, a sizable number of the population. On the 26th of July, some of the inmates stormed a maximum security compound and freed 77 prisoners. And on the 1st of August, the camp guards cracked down and fired on a mob of inmates, killing 42 on the spot and injuring 135. I couldn't find a reference to any guards being killed, unlike in this level. So that was the real Vorkuta uprising. This one's a little more dynamic, shall we say.
Take open the arms lockers! Mason, climb the tower and support the uprising in the south!
I saw an interview with Gary Oldman where he said that when he was recording the voice for this game, he just spent a couple of days in a room shouting. And you can see it there, he's just shouting at this guy who's standing right next to him. Okay, now we're on the roof. Just up to the left there, you can see some massive mining equipment, and Vorkuta was primarily for the extraction of coal. A coal mine, basically. This is a neat contraption that these guys have managed to construct. Let's try number 2. Slightly overcooked that. A little bit too much pepper on it. Let's try that again. And just one left. Okay, probably about there, I'd say. Bingo! Alright then, that's all looking pretty knackered, isn't it? Let's get off the roof, and I think we get a shotgun. Yes. I think Sergey has finally opened the armory door, and let's pick up a shotgun. Through. Nice bits. a little tricky. And actually, I find that I'd prefer to have an AK at this point because the shotgun doesn't really have the range. Sorry, I have to be careful I don't shoot this guy in the back of the head. The shotgun doesn't really have the range, I find. So here we go. Let's see if I can pick up this AK. Here we go. There's no way I could get that guy on the roof with a shotgun. So I actually prefer... Thanks for opening the armor and everything, but I'll take an AK from one of the guards. Moving up. I was doing some reading, and there's some debate about whether gulags were actually designed to be economic hubs creating all these materials, or whether it was just a way to... Oh, almost died. Or whether they were... hang on. What's going on here? Check this guy out. Whether they were a way to get rid of political or state undesirables, and it would seem the latter's more the case. So as Stalin's regime went on, he got progressively more paranoid, and more people ended up either dead or in a gulag. So cheers. Cheers, Uncle Joe. Now, what if we can take this? We blow this... Oh! Oh! That guy went flying! Reznov's okay. The other guy... It landed in Belarus or something, miles away. Alright. I'm actually recording this with a different microphone to normal because my regular microphone just stopped working. It turned itself into a brick. Won't even turn on. So I had to use another microphone. Hope it sounds okay. Right, let's advance around the corner here. We've got one guy on the right, another on the left, and one behind. And I think just into this building here on the left is where we're supposed to be going. Up the stairs to get the harpoon. Another guy goes flying. The Russian all-star male gymnastics team. Helicopter harpooned, and down it goes. What was that? A rotor blade or something? That building's looking pretty knackered. Right, let's do a shifty over the fence here. Yeah, I don't think you're going to hit your coal production targets this month, lads. Now, we're killing a lot of guards here, but do we know who any of the guards at Vorkuta were? Well, yes. Zoya Voskresenskaya, a Soviet diplomat and author of children's books. In fact, she sold more than 21 million of her books in the USSR. She was the chief of the special section, a head guard, basically, at Vorkuta from 1955 to 56. They even put her on a stamp in 2019. I haven't seen her yet on this level. Oh, I hope I haven't killed her. Oh, goodness. Almost died there. I think if this was harder difficulty, there would have been lights out there. If this was veteran, it would have gone. Good job that Reznov is basically unkillable in this game. He seems to be taking a lot of heat from the guards. He's killing a few of them as well. Cheers, Rezzers. All right, let's head up the stairs now then. Here we go. I think that guy's already dead, actually. Okay, there's a load at the end of this corridor. I'm just going to hang back a bit because, I mean, I did almost die just then, so I'm going to let the other prisoners take some of the slack. Reznov gets hit. I don't think he can die on this level. I don't actually know. Got underslung rocket launcher thing, grenade launcher on this gun, but I think they're all dead. Oh, Sergey. Oh, turns out he's a ruddy hero. Cheers, Sergey. Sorry for saying earlier that you have steroids when you Weetabix.
Upstairs! Let's go! The roof! I hear them on the roof! They too will be lambs to the slaughter!
Must have been great fun if you're Gary Oldman recording the voiceover for this game. Lambs to the slaughter. 10 out of 10 for your Russian accent, Comrade Oldman. Your Order of Lenin medal is in the post. Let's take out these last remaining guys, then we can get our hands on the Fist of Iron, which turns out to be a huge gun. I think in a minute there's some guys that come through a wall or something. Right, let's check around here. What's Reznov doing? Come on, pal. Haven't got all day. Here he comes. Now, I think there's some guys, some big armoured buggers that come through this door. So, sounded like a right posho there. Oh, some bloody big armoured buggers. Probably rugby lads. Yeah, here they come. These guys are heavily armoured, I think. Oh, here we go. Let's see if we can... There he is. Sit down. Oh, I think I killed an ally. Sorry, mate. And here's another one. Oh, reloading. Oh. Oh, thank God he missed that shot. Shame I had to kill them. They look like bloody nice blokes, you know, bloody nice blokes. Just clear this place out, and then I'm just going to pause a minute. Take this guy down on the roof, and I think there's another guy up there. So hang on. All right, there we go. Now, we're playing in this level as CIA operative Alex Mason, an American, and I was wondering if it was very likely that an American political prisoner would have been held all the way out here in Vorkuta, and the answer is yes. A large number of American prisoners were held there. Homer Cox is an example. He was a military policeman kidnapped in East Berlin in 1949. He was interned at Vorkuta. I think he has a passing resemblance to Alex Mason. What do you reckon? Another American, John H. Noble, was arrested in 1945 in Soviet-occupied Dresden. He ended up in Vorkuta and was a prominent leader of the uprising in 1953. He managed to survive, and he was finally released in 1955 after he smuggled out a message taped to a prisoner's back, which found its way to the US Department of State. And after they found out he was being held in Russia, President Dwight D. Eisenhower personally intervened, and he was repatriated. And an incredible story. So there's an example of two Americans who were in Vorkuta, and maybe some inspiration behind our character Alex Mason. Let's get going again. Ooh, where do they come from? Okay, now Reznov has got this bit of welding apparatus to. He's going to cut his way through the door. We've got to cover him. I think more rugby boys are coming. A few second rows. Yeah, here they come. I think body shots are pretty useless against these big guys. I think you've got to take them down by hitting them in the head. I'm hoping these allies on the left here will do that. Go on, lads. I think they just keep pouring out until Reznov can get this door open, so... Weld faster! Right, he's down. There's another one there. Oh, bad time to reload. Good job they're just running blindly in. There's a guy on the left here as well. Is he the last? I think this might be the last fellow I need to get down. Cannot hit his head! Now, right, we're about to pick up a minigun, and I looked into the viability of one person actually wielding a minigun. I've got some stats for you here. The lightweight version of this gun weighs 19 kilos, that's 41 pounds, and 1,000 rounds, we've got 999, weighs about 26 kilos, 28 pounds. So combined, 45 kilograms, about 100 pounds, plus you have to carry a power supply. So it's not the most practical of weapons, although maybe Jesse Ventura in Predator would disagree. A pretty impractical weapon, but not impossible to wield. I mean, there's not a huge amount to do in prison, is there? So Alex Mason's probably been working out a lot, getting his arms minigun ready. Right, come on. All painless is waiting. Okay, Reznov, I'm right behind you, with a gun that should really be attached to, you know, a helicopter or something like that. Man, this thing is powerful. Wow, this thing absolutely kicks ass. Right, follow me. I'll lead the way. Last one in Moscow is a rotten egg. The minigun only entered service in 1963, which makes you wonder, is that why they set this level in 1963, so they could put a minigun in and it wouldn't be anachronistic? But took a hit there, but as we know, I ain't got time to bleed. I actually read that miniguns, real miniguns, fire so quickly, between 2,000 and 6,000 rounds a minute, that in the films they have to slow down the barrel rotation so you can actually see it, because otherwise it wouldn't look nearly as dramatic. So I think I have one of those here. Although I'm getting through ammo fast. 63 rounds left. As I say, I couldn't actually, in the actual Vorkuta uprising in 1953, I couldn't find any record of any guards actually dying. And I've run out of ammo, and all I've got is a pistol. That is a dramatic reduction in firepower. At least I've got this AK. Yeah, I really think Vorkuta is going to be missing those cold targets this month. This place is knackered. Oh, almost took that fella out. Gee, is that the guy that we met on the lift at the beginning? Ah, tear gas. Reznov to the rescue.
They used tear gas. I couldn't breathe. You never left me.
Okay, we're coming to inside a engine shed.
We do not have much time. Within this shrine, to the hypocritical decadence of Vorkuta's leaders, lays the key to step 8.
Freedom.
Nice wheels. Okay, let's get up. Right, just before we get on the bike and hopefully escape, I just wanted to finish off the history, the story of Vorkuta. Vorkuta today is still there, or rather the town of Vorkuta, which was founded in 1932 to support the Gulag, is still there. It's the easternmost town in Europe, although it has been called Russia's fastest dying city, as the population has fallen from a peak of 200,000 to an estimated 50,000 today. Of the city's 13 coal mines, most originally dug by Gulag prisoners, only 5 are still operating, and the average apartment in central Russia costs 30 times more than in Vorkuta. There is a government program of resettling people further south, but of the 14,000 Vorkuta residents on the list to be resettled, only about 220 are each year, so I read. And so there's a lot of people who can't get out of Vorkuta today, or should I say still can't get out, a bit like the inmates 70 or 80 years ago, but for different reasons. But we shall leave Vorkuta by motorbike through a window. Alright, here we go. This is the big finale. Got a shotgun here. Oh, that you swivel around and reload a bit like in Terminator 2. Very cool. Alright, that's the train we've got to catch on the left there. It's a race against time.
They're not letting us go without a fight.
Certainly not. There's more up here. Let's take these guys out. It's amazing aim he's got here. Look out for that telegraph pole. And then there's a helicopter, so turn around here to the right. There's more fellas. Big jump. It's a bit like Colin McRae Rally, this, isn't it? To right into water hazard. Big jump. Hairpin left, don't cut. Watch out for motorcyclists with shotguns. Anyway, let's get on this truck. Sorry, pal. Gonna need this truck, I'm afraid. Man, this is a lot of destruction. After I finish, I'll have to put on a kill count of how many people I've actually killed on this level. It's crazy. And here's the train.
Jump, Mason, jump!
I know, that looks like a pretty long way, to be fair. That's a hell of a jump. Blimey. Look at the distance of that. Who is this guy? Carl Lewis?
For you, Mason, not for me. Reznov!
Reznov's off, but we've survived. Huzzah.
And that was the last you
So,
saw of
Alex
the
Mason,
Realism.
Olympic long jump
For
champion
a while.
and part-time CIA operative. Anyway, that is mission passed. Right, there we are, Call of Duty Black Ops. They don't make them like that anymore. We covered the history of the Gulag system, Vorkuta, past and present, some of the Americans that were interned there. Let me know what you thought of Black Ops and the history we covered, and if you like what you saw, please consider subscribing for more, and I'll see you in the next video.